Let's talk about my most anticipated horror reads in 2023. So I normally get this list from Tor Nightfire, but apparently that blog is no more. But the editor of that blog, their own website, readjumpscares.com, where they've compiled the list of upcoming books in 2023. So I will link that down below for you to also check out yourself. Now we have a lot to look forward to, as always. Each year I feel like there's so many new titles, so many new voices in the genre, and so many interesting sounding stories. So it's really hard to keep up with it all, but here are a few that stood out to me. We're already in January, and Ghost 19 from Simone St. James came out on January 3rd. This is about a woman who moves to a town where she becomes obsessed with watching the lives of her neighbors while stuck in a house that refuses to let her leave. Simone St. James is the author of Sundown Motel, which is a book I absolutely loved. So I really do want to check this out. It's a short story, so I want to see how they handle that medium. The next is Devil's Creek from Todd Kiesling, which comes out January 10th. So about 15 miles west of Stoford, Kentucky lies Devil's Creek. According to local legend, there used to be a church out there, home to the Lord's Church of Holy Voices, a death cult where Jacob Masters preached the gospel of a nameless God. And like most legends, there's truth buried among the roots and bones. So it's a cult story, and who doesn't love cults? I certainly do. One of my favorite authors, Grady Hendrix, is coming out with How to Sell a Haunted House on January 17th. I've been seeing great reviews for this, and I'm excited to check it out. I love haunted house stories. I want to see how Grady Hendrix handles this trope. Another one is Tell Me I'm Worthless by Allison Rumfitt. It is coming out January 17th from Nightfire. Dark, unflinching haunted house story that confronts both supernatural and real-world horrors through the lens of the modern-day trans experience. Sounds absolutely amazing, unique representation that we don't get often. So the title's amazing, the cover is amazing, just everything about it. I'm excited. Ooh, I'm really excited for All Hallows from Christopher Golden, which is coming out January 24th. So it's set on Halloween night in 1984 in Coventry, Massachusetts, which I'm from Massachusetts, so I love reading things set in New England. It's about two families who are unraveling up and down the street. Horrifying secrets are being revealed, and all the while mixed in with trick-or-treaters of all ages. Sounds like there's a bunch of different stories within this story, like we're following different characters on Halloween night and the horrifying things that they're going through. So I'm excited. I love that it's set in the 80s because I'm still not over the 80s, 90s nostalgia that we have been given. So yeah, I want it. I want it now. This one sounds really good. It's called Episode 13. It's from Craig DeLuey. This is out January 24th. This is a heart-pounding novel where a ghost hunting reality TV crew are pulled into a world they could never imagine. I love things that are set on TV or a movie. Like, that stuff fascinates me immensely. So I love the idea of a ghost hunting reality TV show gone wrong. It's like Grave Encounters, and Grave Encounters scared the crap out of me. So I'm excited to see it in book form. Ooh, this one sounds so just picking up with that nostalgia stuff that I love. That's what I call horror. That's what I call horror, an anthology of 90s horror. How'd I do? This is from Chelsea Pumpkins. What an amazing name. This comes out January 25th. Set during the decade of flannel shirts and neon dolphin trapper keepers. That's what I call horror is guaranteed to be all that and a bag of haunted chips. You won't need a dial-up connection to reach the beyond this time. I miss the dial-up connection, FYI. I miss those sounds. I miss that. Just the danger of someone picking up the line and kicking you off. Ooh. So this is looking into horror of the 90s, obviously. So I really dig this. Oh my god, Barlow just came in and scared the crap out of me. Okay, now we're moving into February. First up, we have Gothic from Philip Fracassi. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. It's coming out February 3rd. It's about a famous but struggling horror writer who receives an antique desk from his partner on his 59th birthday that will hopefully get his creative juices flowing. But once he starts using the desk, he begins acting violent and and strange. So this sounds like a cursed object horror story, but I think he writes like some of the best horror he's ever written. So, I love this. I love this. Next we have The Black Guy Dies First, Black horror cinema from fodder to Oscar. So this is from the same team behind the really good documentary on Shudder called Horror Noir. This comes out February 7th. It explores the history of black horror films. Killer from Peter Tonkin is coming out from Valancourt Press on February 7th. This is a Paperbacks from Hell reissue, which I love that they do this. They bring back old horror that has long been forgotten. I've discovered some writers I've really enjoyed from the Paperbacks from Hell collection. So this is a 1979 classic about 5 men and 1 beautiful woman. They're marooned on an island of Arctic ice. Together they had the equipment and skills to fight the freezing cold, the violently savage storms. Then suddenly, from the angry seas, the jaws of horror opened wide as nature's deadliest creature rose from the depths. A huge killer whale of enormous intelligence, incredible power, indestructible endurance, ravenous for human prey. Yes, give me a killer whale story set in the Arctic. I love Jaws. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. The book is okay. Could have done without the second half, but I love creature features. I love creature features set around water because the water is absolutely terrifying. So that sounds amazing. Ooh, next we have The Spite House from Johnny Compton. This is coming up February 7th. This is a gothic horror thriller set in a haunted house, and it's about grief and death and the depths of a father's love. Ooh, okay, next we have The Pledge from Cale Dietrich. Sorry, Cale, if I'm saying that wrong. This comes out February 14th. This is described as Scream meets Clown in a Cornfield. It's a young adult horror novel about a mass killer who targets frat boys. Yes, I want to see them burn. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. It just sounds fun and exciting and perfect teen slasher. I'm assuming it's witty. It's offering commentary on the college experience. Maybe how college frat boys treat other people like women. I don't know. We'll find out. Next, we have Ancient Images from Ramsey Campbell coming out February 21st. Tower of Fear is a lost horror film starring... Oh my god, I think I wanted to read this, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Tower of Fear is a lost horror film starring Karloff and Lugosi. A film historian who locates a copy dies while fleeing something that terrified him. His friend Sandy Allen vows to prove he found the film. She learns how haunted the production was and the survivors of it still are. I love stuff centered around cursed films, film in general. So this one was on my list. I made a book of cursed films, TBR recommendation list, and this was one of them, I believe. But I'll link that video for you up above, down below, wherever. When Darkness Blooms by Andrea Hanna. It's coming out February 21st. This is about an eerie town where sunflowers whisper secrets and the land hungers for blood. I love creepy small towns with crops, like Children of the Corn. Give it to me. Then we have Delicious Monsters from Lascelles Sambury. This is coming out February 28th. This is described as The Haunting of Hill House meets Sadie. It's a mind-bending psychological thriller following 2 teen girls navigating the treacherous past of a mysterious mansion 10 years apart. Then we have She is a Haunting coming out February 28th. A house with a terrifying appetite haunts a broken family in this atmospheric horror, perfect for fans of Mexican Gothic. There's a lot of Gothic haunted house horror coming out this year. Okay, next we're moving into March. First we have Hospital by Han Song, which is coming out March 1st. A twisted, wildly imaginative tale of one man's mysterious illness and his journey through a dystopian hospital system. I mean, this sounds like it's gonna be providing some amazing commentary on the healthcare system, which sucks. And I love stuff set in hospitals. I hope it's gonna be really creepy as well. Then we have Mothered from Zoja Stage coming out March 1st. That's the same author of Baby Teeth. This is a claustrophobic psychological thriller about one woman's nightmare spiral while quarantined with her mother. I love mother-daughter relationships in stories. I feel like those relationships can be so complex, and this sounds like it's going to be complex and disturbing. So, oh my god! Laurel Hightower is coming out with a book. This is called Every Woman Knows This from Laurel Hightower, coming out March 3rd. This includes 5 new tales. Navigate the stormy waters of womanhood with caution as you are about to experience the horrors that every woman knows. Yes, Laurel. I love Laurel Hightower. I'm excited to get a book with more of her writing in it. I really want her to come up with a novel, but she's so good with short stories, so I know this is going to be good. I already know it. And that it's centered around women and their struggles. I'm already a fan. I'm predicting 5-star read. Then we have Monstrillio from Gerardo Samano Cordova coming out March 7th. Grieving Mother Magos cuts out a piece of her deceased 11-year-old son Santiago's lung. Acting on fierce maternal instinct and the dubious logic of old folklore, she nurtures the lung until it gains sentience. Growing into the carnivorous little Monstrillio she keeps hidden within the walls of her family's decaying Mexico City estate. Eventually, Monstrillio begins to resemble the Santiago he once was, but his innate impulses threaten to destroy this fragile second chance at life. This sounds Pet Sematary-esque. I am so fucking excited for this one. It sounds so good. Next we have Pinata from Leopoldo Goat, coming out March 14th. This is described as a head full of ghosts meets Mexican Gothic. It's a terrifying possession story. Give it to me now. Give it to me now, Nightfire. Then we have A House with Good Bones from T. Kingfisher, March 28th. Explores the dark, twisted roots lurking just beneath the veneer of a perfect home and family. I loved What Moves the Dead from T. Kingfisher. That's the only thing I've read from there so far. So I feel like I know that I will like the writing style of this. It's going to be gothic, weird, and a little bit of a slow burn. Oh my god, this book sounds so good. In Nightfall from Suzanne Young, coming out March 28th. In the quaint town of Nightfall, Oregon, it isn't the dark you should be afraid of. It's the girls. The Lost Boys meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer in this propulsive novel from New York Times bestselling author of The Treatment. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I don't know what the fuck that means, but describing it as Lost Boys meets Buffy, I'm assuming there's vampires in this story or some type of supernatural thing going on with the girls. Now we're moving on to April. Oh my god. First we have House of Cotton by Monica Brashears, coming out April 4th. This is a contemporary Black Southern Gothic novel about what it means to be a poor woman in the God-fearing South in the age of OnlyFans. This one, Agony's Lodestone from Laura Keating, comes out April 14th. Sibling drama, creepy videotapes, and woods where nothing remains in its proper place or time. It revolves around videotapes. There's going to be a time warpy element to it. Sounds interesting. Thank you. Oh, The Cherished from Patricia Ward is coming out April 18th. For fans of White Smoke, The Hazelwood, and Wilder Girls comes an original hypnotizing horror thriller in the vein of Midsummer, as one girl inherits a mysterious house from her estranged grandmother and a letter with sinister instructions. Yes, I like when people inherit things and there's something weird in what they inherit. Then we have Games for Dead Girls by Jen Williams, coming out April 18th. This is in the vein of Jennifer Hillier and Alex North. It's told in alternating timelines, and it's about a ritualistic game that turns deadly for two young girls, but it will be years before they must face the true horrors of their past. Games? Creepy games? It sounds more thriller than horror, but I'm into it. I like Jennifer Hillier, so. The Haunting of Alejandra from V. Castro is coming out April 18th. A woman is haunted by the Mexican folk demon La Llorona. Llorona? I can't fucking say it. In this ravishing and provocative literary horror novel about motherhood, family legacy, and self-discovery. V. Castro is an amazing writer, and I am interested in this story. La Llorona? Can I say things correctly? The Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham, coming out April 25th. 4 best friends, 1 music festival, and a cooler filled with human organs. The summer is about to get gory. For fans of Jennifer's Body, it sounds like it's going to be funny, satirical, witty, and gross. Ooh! Then we have Neverest from T.L. Bodine, coming out in April. This is about mountain climbing and the extreme horrors of Mount Everest. Please tell me there's a Yeti. I just love mountain, snowy set horrors. Mountain like Mount Everest, which is dangerous as hell. People die on there and there's dead bodies still there, like frozen in time. So I don't even know what to expect from this, but it sounds intriguing. I'm in. Oh! The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Caw. This is coming out May 2nd. This is a dark and deliciously twisted mermaid tale. We need more mermaid tales in horror. I haven't read any, but I know they exist. Ooh, What Happened Was Impossible by E.F. Schrader, coming out May 16th. Everyone knows the woman who escapes a massacre is a final girl, but who is the final boy? What Happened Was Impossible follows the life of Ida Wright, a man who knows how to capitalize on his childhood tragedies even when he caused them. Ooh! Oh, okay, Killing It from Mike Bachoven, coming out May 23rd. This is the author of Fantastic Land, which I have like sitting next to me every year that I haven't read yet, but I want to. Since the late 80s, the Square has been one of the most important clubs in New York for the alt comedy scene. But before that, it was something much darker, and now is a place where evil lingers, waiting for a chance to spill blood. After a night of killing on stage, 4 comics find themselves in a desperate situation as the spirits of the past come out to play. And a fight for laughs becomes a fight for survival in the most unlikely of places. Sounds interesting. God damn, there's a lot of, like, just depressing shit. Oh! The Briars by Stephanie Parent comes out in May, no actual date. It's a gothic haunted house story transplanted to an S&M dungeon in which 2 sex workers battle an increasingly vengeful ghost. That's how you do it. You change up the haunted house trope with that, an S&M dungeon, thank you. Then we're moving into June. We have All the Sinners Bleed from S.A. Cosby coming out June 6th. This is a southern gothic novel about the first black sheriff in a small southern town in his hunt for a killer. I'm very excited about this one. Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca coming out June 6th. It's set in New England, a New England small town. An insidious darkness threatens to devastate a rural New England village when occult forces are conjured and when bigotry is left unrestrained. I love it. It's giving me Wicker Man vibes / Midsummer / I don't know. Its own thing. Eric LaRocca, the author of Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. I'm just looking forward to this one. Then we have The Devil's Playground by Craig Russell coming out June 20th. A riveting 1920s Hollywood thriller about the making of the most terrifying silent film ever made and a deadly search for the single copy rumored to still exist. I love books about movies. Okay, then we have Where Echoes Die by Courtney Gold coming out June 20th. 2 sisters travel to an isolated Arizona town to investigate its connection to their mother's death, but uncover more than they bargained for in this supernatural thriller from the author of The Dead in the Dark. Supernatural, missing and dead mom, weird town, give it to me. The Wicked Unseen by Gigi Griffiths coming out June 20th. The new girl in town is having trouble fitting into a community that believes there's a secret satanic cult conducting rituals in the woods. When her crush goes missing, she starts to wonder if the town's obsession with evil isn't covering up something far worse. Perfect for fans of Fear Street. So this is a YA satanic horror story. Give it to me now. Give it to me now! Oh my god, this sounds so good too. You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron, also coming out June 20th, and also for fans of Fear Street. Did you hear the New England in me come out just now? At Camp Mirror Lake, terror is the name of the game, but can you survive the night? Okay, then we have House of Rot by Danger Slater coming out in June. This is a psychedelic splatter tale in which a pair of newlyweds move into a haunted apartment and soon find themselves unable to leave. Then we are moving into July. So Those We Drown by Amy Goldsmith coming out July 1st. An ocean-drenched atmospheric horror debut. Liv's best friend disappears on their first night aboard their dream semester at sea. Is something dark lurking beneath water. I love that it's set at sea, and I feel like a lot of strange, creepy stuff happens aboard ships, and I like that it's exploring a disappearance because I feel like that stuff happens. There's so many people who've disappeared on cruise ships. Next we have Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi. This is coming out June 11th. This is described as The Exorcist meets Lord of the Flies by way of Midnight Mass. And we have Camp Damascus from Chuck Tingle coming out July 18th. From beloved internet icon Chuck Tingle comes a searing and earnest horror debut about the demons the queer community faces in America, the price of keeping secrets, and finding the courage to burn it all down. And we have Silver Nitrate from Sylvia Morena Garcia coming out July 18th. A fabulous meld of Mexican horror movies and Nazi occultism, a dark thriller about the curse that haunts a legendary lost film and awakens one woman's hidden powers. Yes! Another book about lost films. Love it! Okay, then we have Infested by Angel Louis Colon, July 25th. This is described as the taking of Jake Livingston meets Cemetery Boys. It's a YA ghost story about a Puerto Rican teen's battle with the malevolent spirit targeting his apartment building and the all-too-real horrors of gentrification. Now we're moving into August. We have The Bonus Room from Ben H. Winters, also coming out August 1st. A creepy, crawly page-turner about a horrifying home infestation that will get all the way under your skin. Woo! Or it already is. You just have to say the words creepy crawler and it already is under my skin. Ooh, then we have 101 Horror Books to Read Before You're Murdered by Sadie Hartman, who you might know as Mother Horror on the interwebs, on Instagram and the like. Also, she's the co-founder of the Nightworms book subscription service. This is coming out August 8th. And it's basically a guide to horror books that you need to read, basically. The title says it all. Then we have The Handyman Method by Andrew F. Sullivan and Nick Cutter, aka the author of The Troop, coming out August 8th. When a young family moves into an unfinished development community, cracks begin to emerge in both their new residence and their lives, as a mysterious online DIY instructor delivers a dark, subliminal suggestion about how to handle any problem around the house. The trials of home improvement, destructive insecurities, and haunted house terror all collide in this thrilling story, perfect for fans of Nick Cutter's The Troop and the Deep. Then September, my birthday month, we have Apparitions by Adam Pottle coming out September 5th. A deaf teen held captive for years and never taught language is institutionalized in a prairie psychiatric facility when he must confront the horrors of ableism when another deaf teen who happens to be an aspiring cult leader. Ooh, that sounds really interesting. Then we have Damned If You Do by Alex Brown coming out September 5th. Queer Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Filipino folklore in this horror comedy about a high school stage manager who accidentally sells her soul to a demon. And we have What Kind of Mother by Clay McLeod Chapman. I just said that wrong. September 12th. A modern Southern Gothic horror about a palm reader who becomes involved in a mind-bending missing child case with a shocking twist you won't see coming. This sounds very similar to The Gift, starring Cate Blanchett, which I highly recommend. Then we're moving into October. Nestlings by Nat Cassidy, coming out October 31st. This harnesses the creepy paranoia of Rosemary's Baby and the urban horror of Salem's Lot, and it's set at an exclusive New York City residential building. Those are two of my favorite horror stories books of all time, so this is most definitely at the top of my to-be-read list in 2023 when it comes out in October. That's as much as I have now. That's a lot. That's a lot. And there's still more books coming out in 2023, but they don't have exact dates yet. So this list is going to get updated over time. I highly suggest you check it out. Again, I will link that for you down below. Let me know what books you are looking forward to most in 2023. There's a lot of haunted house stories, like Gothic haunted house stories that are coming out. A lot of stuff involving creepy small towns, which I love. And there's a few about footage, cursed films, which is another thing I'm obsessed with. So we have a lot to look forward to. Let me know what books on this list you're looking forward to most. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I will catch you next time. Bye.